Hey everybody, it's Rolly, and I'm going to try take two. So I was just on and I was just sharing and I was super excited and super pumped. And so if you can read lips on my last video, then you'll have read all the things that are actually happening. So I am going to double check this time to make sure that people can actually hear my voice. So let's try that again. So it's Rolly, and you can hear my voice. Yay! So so definitely I can share a little bit more information about what it is that I was talking about. And of course, now I have to have a frog in my throat, which I did not have in the last one. So, but apparently I have now. So I will use my hand sanitizer and to get my hands back up and running after doing the frog in the throat. So anyway, so this is perfect, right? So my last video was talking about all the things that we say to ourselves and how much that we give ourselves a hard time about things that happen. And so this is perfect because now this is a prime example of what it is that I'm actually talking about. And not that you guys can hear what it is that I said in the last video, but it was about that. It was about being able to finding ways to lovingly accept ourselves as we are, and no matter what it is that happens, and that kind of thing. And so, of course, I can't reiterate everything that I said in the last video simply because, like, I don't script anything that I talk about. I just talk about whatever it is that is coming to mind, and that is who I am. So I don't typically script anything unless I'm like giving a specific lesson or something that that needs to have some specific information. But yeah, so I was talking about the upcoming workshop that is starting next Tuesday, which is the day after Labor Day. So for those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Rolly Allaire, and I'm a holistic life and wellness coach. And I'm inviting you to come and join us on this this week-long exploration about being able to connect and tap into who we are. So it's a free workshop that I'm offering, and I'm going to share the link now so that you can go and have a look, but also so that you can sign up for it as well. So I invite you to sign up. So we're going to be doing this training live starting September 7th inside the Holistic Wellness Lounge, and I invite you to come and join me as I am going to be able to share how we are interconnected within all of ourselves. So we are an entire person. And so a lot of times we slice things up into like these individual things of who we are and what we're doing and how we're doing it. But we are completely whole. And so that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about, is being able to take those different aspects of ourselves and using some specific concepts of a whole person approach of who we are and how we are tapping into things. And so we're going to be doing it over the course of a week, and we're going to be talking more about what each one of them are. And so over the course of this week, I will come in and share a little bit more about each one of these concepts. But the concepts are, there's 12 of them. So there are 12 dimensions that we're going to be addressing and that we're going to be connecting with. And so self-responsibility and love is one of them. And I'm actually obviously going to read because I'm not going to remember what they all are. Breathing and sensing, eating, moving, feeling, thinking, playing and work, communicating, intimacy, finding meaning, and transcending. So those are the ones that we're going to be doing. And so obviously these are in a circular because it's so I use circles for most of the things that I do. And so because everything, it doesn't have a beginning and it doesn't have an end. And sometimes we need to crisscross, or that we need to kind of tap into the two dimensions. And so we're going to be diving into what each one of these are, how they connect with us, how we can make those changes and have that connection. with ourselves. And so for those of you who were kind enough to stay on while I was talking to myself earlier, because nobody else could hear me, is that being able to know the things that we're actually going to be doing. So we're going to be going through this process. And so if you are a member of the Holistic Wellness Lounge, then you will have access to this anyway, but you won't have access to the workbook. So I'm going to invite you to make sure that you go and sign up so that you have access to the workbook. You'll also have access to the replays. So we're going to be doing this at 5:15 Eastern time. So I know that for a lot of people, this, or at least in my neck of the woods anyway, this is dinner time. We're just getting off work, that kind of thing. So, but I still invite you to just take this half hour to be able to take a look at it. But you'll also have access to the replay. So you can come back and take a look later. So like if you're in the middle of preparing dinner, that kind of thing, so that you can still come ahead and join us that way and listen while you're doing dinner preparation, or as you're driving home from work, or whatever it is that you need to be doing that way. But we're going to be tapping in to each one of these dimensions and connecting. And so like it's a half hour of being able to connect with each one of these and learning a little bit more about how to be able to love ourselves unconditionally, which is something that is not inherently learned. So it's not something that we've been taught. So we are hard on ourselves. We have a lot of high expectations, and some of the things that we say to ourselves are not the same things that we would say to our best friend. But yet we say them to ourselves. And so being able to find ways of being able to connect with each one of these. And I'm going to share some tools as to how you can actually make some of these work for you. And so I thought that this would be a great time with fall starting and being able to, and I'm saying fall starting because for most of us, or for a lot of us, it's getting back to work. School is starting again. So it's that fall season, even though we're not quite into fall, but September is the beginning of fall. So being able to have that connection and changing. And so the workshop is free. It doesn't cost anything. And it'll give you a little bit of time to be able to tap into who you are and what it is that you are doing, and some of the things that you can do to improve how things have been going. So if you've been like me, I'm a lifelong learner. There's always lots of things that I can learn, lots of things that I can change. And so being able to implement them a little bit at a time is one of the things that we have in terms of those changes. So, but the changes are not just limited to diet and exercise or just doing meditation. There's a lot more. We're a lot more intrinsic in how do I say that word? Intrinsic, right? So my French tongue sometimes takes the best of me. And so, but like there's lots of things around that that we need to be able to take a look at. And so being able to understand how to be able to balance it and how to be able to create it, and taking some of the practices that you have already and just molding them differently, or being able to add one more thing to that plan, or being able to take away some of the things because they're not necessarily working for us. So that's what we're going to be doing, is tapping into a lot more about who we are. So over the course of this week, I'm going to share a little bit more about each one of the dimensions so that we can kind of go in a little bit deeper as to what they are and that kind of thing before we actually start the workshop. So like this is a pre-workshop to the workshop kind of thing, but just to be able to kind of talk more about what each one of those dimensions are and understanding them at a more deeper level. And so I definitely invite you to be able to join me. And so you will get me at my at my full authentic self. So so I'm not deleting the previous video. I am going to continue to move on the way that I have. And so people are going to go in and they're going to see all the excitement and all the hand motions and movements that I make as a person who speaks with my hands a lot. And so you're going to be seeing all those different things if you actually watch the video. But if not, But being able to have these conversations and tapping into who we are. And yeah, so I just want to invite you to join us and sign up, and really looking forward to spending a week with you guys. And over the course of this week, though, I will share a little bit more and about each one of the dimensions so that you have a little bit of an idea as to what they are. And I will chat with all of you guys later. Bye for now. Talk to you guys soon.